Great people, welcome to this channel. My name is Nehemiah and I'm very happy to have you on board. So this is the last lesson on Matplotlib, and we are going to talk about the pie charts. But then before I begin, if it's your first time to get into this channel, please take a minute, subscribe, like and share the video to your friends so that YouTube may recommend it to very many viewers. And to the returning subscribers, I really appreciate you very much for your continuous support. Now, without further ado, let's begin straight away. Basically, with pie plot, you can use the pie function to draw the pie charts. So let me begin straight away by showing an example here. I'm using Jupyter from Anaconda, or you can use another notebook you wish. But then here, first of all, let's import the Matplotlib module. Let me use a small. We are using the import keyword to import matplotlib.pyplot, but then as an alias plt, and then also we are going to import numpy as what np alias. Now let's create now the variable here for the pie. Remember I said that I will use the pie function to draw the pie charts. So first of all, let's use a numpy array here. Let me give it a variable, perhaps y. You can give it any variable name. And then here let me pass in the numpy array. Let me say np dot array. Remember np is the alias for numpy. And then here we are gonna pass in at least in this tuple. Let me pass in some values, like perhaps let me say that 5. Again, let me use 25. Let me use 25 again, and then what is 15. 15, and then the function to draw that pie chart, we are gonna use pie. First of all, define the module plt, the alias for matplotlib.pyplot, and then pie function, and then we're gonna pass in our variable, which is y. And then also we are gonna use the plt.show function to visualize in our text editor. Actually, to visualize here, so it should be a show. And then let's close. So guys, before you run, ensure that you have the tkinda or any other GUI compiler for Matplotlib, otherwise it will have an error. So let me run it. So basically this is how you can draw that pie chart. So guys, basically as you can see, the pie chart draws one piece called the wedge. It's called the wedge, for each value in the array. In this case it was that 5, 25, 25 and what, in 15. So by default, the plotting of the first wedge starts from the x-axis and moves counterclockwise. So here is the x-axis, and then it moves counterclockwise. So this is 35, 25, 25, and then 15. So it goes in that format. But then you need to note that the size of each wedge is determined by comparing the value with all the other values by using the formula. Actually, let me just type in for you the formula here. So what it usually do, it is x. The formula is x over the sum, and then x. The sum of what? Let me use a tuple here, and then let me say x. So it is x over the sum of x. Now x it's the number of these, the summation of these values in this variable. So what it does, it calculates the total number of these values in the array, and then what it does, for example, if you want to plot that 5, it will be that 5 over the total number of actually the total summation of the values in this array list. So guys, basically that's how you can obtain the that ratios for each values in the array. So let me first of all delete this one so that it may not cost us some issues there. So guys, let me talk about the labels in a few. We add the labels in the pie chart with the label parameter. So And the label parameter must be an array with one label for each wedge. So perhaps for labels, I can say perhaps let me call it y label. Or you can use any variable, or you can say even x. Let's use this variable, and then now what I do, we are using a list here. Let me use a list, and then what is, let me, a list is defined using these as squared brackets, and then here at the first item, perhaps let me call it the apples. You can use fruits, you can use anything, but then here let me pass in bananas, and then what is here also let me pass in cherries, or whichever fruits you like, cherries. And then what is which other fruits should I perhaps here let me say let me use dates. Let me use just my keyboard has issues, guys, sorry, but then I'm planning to buy a new laptop. And then here guys, we're gonna pass this function. First of all, y for our array list, and then also we're gonna pass in labels. I said that I will use the label parameter to add the labels to the pie charts. So label, what the spelling for label? Labels, right? And then here let me pass in this variable here, y labels, right? It is y labels, yeah. Ensure that not really labels, it is label. Remember, when you use an incorrect variable name, it will not work. You'll have an error at the terminal. So I'm hoping everything is okay. So what I do, let me run and see if it's okay. And then guys, basically you can see we have added the label to the pie chart. Guys, let me talk about the angle, how to start an angle. Guys, as I told you earlier, the starting angle is at the x-axis, but you basically can change the starting angle by specifying the start angle parameter. Now, the start angle parameter is defined with an angle in degrees. Default angle is 0. So let me show you an example. Let's add this other parameter here, comma, first of all, to separate a parameter, and then here I'm gonna say start angle, and then you can specify. By default I said it begins from 0, but then you can specify like let it begin from 90. Then what you do, let's run and see. And then guys, basically you can see that we have done what we have just changed the angle, and then it has begun from this side going counterclockwise. So guys, basically maybe you want one of the wedges to stand out, and now the explode parameter allows you to do that. Let me talk about this explode in a few. The explode parameter is specified and not none, and there must be an array with one value for each wedge. So each value represented how far from the center each wedge is displayed. Let me show you an example. Perhaps let me pull the apples. The apples here, wedge from perhaps 0.2 from the center of the pie chart. So in that case, let me add in this variable. Perhaps let me call it my explode. You can give it any variable name. Remember, variable name doesn't matter. My explode, and then let me assign it to, I said for apples, let me use remember it's an integer, let me use 0.2, and then the other ones let me use 0, 0, 0, and then I'm gonna add in this parameter called my explode. Actually should be explode. First of all, I said that I will use the explode parameter to do it to make one of our wedge to stand out. So explode should be explode, right? And then let me pass in this variable. Let me just copy in so that I may not type my things. And and then let me just paste in here, and then what I do, I think it's okay. Let me run and see if it will work. Then guys, basically you can see we have done what we have added that explode parameter, and you can see now one of our wedge has now stand out. We have extracted from the pie chart. So basically that's how you can explode. That's how you can make your one of your wedge to stand out. So let me talk about the shadow. Basically, you can also add the shadow to the pie chart by setting the shadow parameter to true. So let me do that. Let me add in that parameter. Let me say shadow, and then let me assign it to a true value, true boolean. It should be true. And then what I do, let me run and see if it will work. And then guys, let me zoom in much so that you can see, and guys, basically you can see it is now working very well. So basically that's how you can add in the shadow. So guys, let me talk about the colors now. You can set the color for each wedge with the colors parameter. The colors parameter, if specified, must be an array with one value for each wedge. So let me do that. Let me change the colors here. Let me call it my colors, the variable. Let me say my color. I said that it must be an array. And then I'm gonna assign it to this array list. You can use color names. Perhaps let me use black. You can as well use the hexadecimal values. Sorry. Should be here. Sorry, here it should be inside the. Should be inside the. Here it should be inside the what? It should be inside the angle brackets. Sorry, not this one. It should be. Let me undo first of all. Let me undo, then let me use this one. Others will have the issues there at the terminal. And then I say that you can use color names like black. You can use color hexadecimal values like let's use red. For red is first of all hash, and then f, then 0 0 0 0. That's the color for the for bananas. Then for whichever color, let's use perhaps. Should I use blue? Let me use a color like even. Let me use hot pink. Hot pink. What is the spelling for hot pink? Is it this way? A hot pink. And then you can as well use the shorter versions of the colors. Remember, it allows you to use the, like for Mangeta, it is just M. For just M. Remember, red is R, small r, green is G, small g, blue is small b, cyan is C, Mangeta is M, small m basically. For black is K, and then for white is just small w. And then once we have specified the colors parameter, actually color variables here, what we're going to do, guys, let's do at least now passing that parameter here. Let me say, first of all, a comma to separate the parameters. And then here, let me add in this parameter called colors. And then let me assign it to this variable. It was my colors, right? My colors. I think the variable is my colors. Yeah, ensure that the variable matches with what we are using there, this function, py function. And then what we do, should we run? Let's run and see if it will work. Let's run. And then again, basically you can see we have now changed the colors. So basically that's how you can assign colors in each, that's how you can assign colors in each wedge. Remember I said that each portion here is a wedge. And this is how you saw this for the apples wedge we exploded it. We extracted from the pie chart, actually from the main chart. Let me talk about the legend. Now, to add a list of explanation for each wedge, I will use the legend function. So let me zoom out a bit, and then let me add in that parameter so that you can see very well. Remember, it's not a must to use all these parameters here. You can just use what you want, but then for the sake of tutorial, let me just not really. We don't add in here. We just it's just is an independent function. So let's say plt dot legend a function, and then what we do, let's run and see if it will work. And then again, basically you can see it's now working very well. So basically that's how you can add in a list of explanation about some values. Like for apples, you can see it is black, bananas is red, cherries is hot pink, and then dates is it is which color? Magenta. So basically that's how you can use the legend function to add some more explanation about the list. So let me talk about the how to add the header to the legend and the title parameter to the legend function. In that case, let me show you that here you are going to add in this parameter title, and then let's assign it the title to be is a string. So let me say let me call it four fruits. And then what we do, let's run and see if it will work. Let's run, and then I can see it is now 4 fruits here. We have added that title to our, actually we have added the header to our legend function. So guys, basically I forgot to change here the title should be Matplotlib pie charts, but then I think you've understand what we've discussed. However guys, in our next tutorial, it will be machine learning. Basically, it will not be a tutorial, it will be a standalone full course. It will be a full course in a single video about machine learning and algorithms. So guys, please subscribe and also like the video so that you may support this channel. But I really appreciate you very much for your support and for your precious time. And let's meet in the next video. Goodbye.